Yeah, so let's talk sports SPACs and athlete SPACs. You and I both talked about how Kramer kind of came out and he attacked these so-called celebrity SPACs, right? To me, these ones, though, that have athletes attached to them, it's not these athletes going in blind. They have these great management teams. They have experience in the sports industry. I mean, if you're investing in a software company, don't you want someone involved with software? If you're investing in sports, don't you want someone involved with sports? Don't you want a strong management team? So, guys, I want to give you some more ideas here of some SPACs that are targeting the sports industry or have an athlete behind them. Again, these are just some ideas for you guys, kind of naming the people involved. So up first, we have ACAC. So this is run by the former CEO of MGM Resorts, interested in live events, gaming, hospitality, sports, and casinos. Also includes Boston Red Sox CEO Sam Kennedy in the management team. So again, connection to sports betting, connections to running a sports team. So they could look at any of those industries and they have the experience already there. Then we have AKIC, the Falcons owner, who is targeting the sports and media sectors with this SPAC. Another one we've talked about on the show a lot is BHSE. So this is Bullhorn. Former NBA player Barron Davis is part of this team looking at sports franchises, sports technology, and entertainment. They were rumored to be acquiring Reebok at one point. I don't see that going through, and I think it got a lot of bad press as a result. But now we have shares trading very close to the $10 level, probably below net asset value at this point, and targeting the sports market. So I'll be taking a look at that one. Another one of my favorites that I keep waiting to get in is IGAC. This is one targeting the sports betting and casino market possibly, as Bradley Tusk is involved and Ivory Gaming Group's Christian Good is also part of the leadership team. So Bradley Tusk was an early investor in FanDual, and Christian Good was the president of Genting Americas, which owns 2 gaming properties in New York. They also have the former Resorts World Las Vegas president on the team. RedBall Acquisition, RBAC, is another one we've talked about several times. Of course, they were linked originally with the Red Sox and Liverpool, that Fenway Sports Group, but now RBAC is left, no longer targeting that asset as talks have, fallen apart. This is the Billy Beane, known for Moneyball SPAC. Really think they're going to go after a sports franchise, but I think they could surprise and also go after a media asset. Sport Radar has also been a rumor thrown out with this one as well. Then another one we've talked about, from the very start, SEAH, targeting, the sports market. They have former executives. So the former NHL chief operating officer, John Collins, the former NFL executive, Eric Grubman, also hospitality connections, and then Timothy Goodell, who's the brother of Roger Goodell, the current NFL commissioner, also part of the SPAC team. Then we have SPTK. This one's newer to me, but came up on my list as it's connected to Formula One racing, has the former general manager of the Huston Astros, has someone tied to Monumental Sports and Entertainment, and also the Cleveland Browns. So again, connections running some teams, connections running some leagues. So I definitely think that is worth watching. And then turning to some that are, have athletes attached to them. So we have SPFR. This is one from Barry Sternlicht, who's done several SPACs, Jaws Spitfire Acquisition. Serena Williams is part of this team and, known obviously as a legend in tennis. Serena Williams has also invested in over 30 companies with her Serena Ventures. That includes Ali, Masterclass, and Tonal. So she's been involved in several deals. I really like her being attached to this one. It's one I'm looking at. Then we have PFDR. I don't know a ton about this one, but Steve Young, former NFL quarterback, is actually involved in this SPAC. He was a name that was interesting to me, and I added it to my watch list and will be doing some more due diligence on it. And then one we talked about recently, but have to highlight again because it was a target of that Kramer report, is SlamU, SLAMU. Alex Rodriguez, former MLB superstar, is part of this team, going to raise $500 million and targeting sports, media, entertainment, health and wellness, and consumer technology. The SPAC filing did specifically say that they are not looking to acquire a professional sports franchise. They want to be, involved in other ways. Again, A-Rod has been involved, with running teams, so probably a conflict of interest there. The other thing that I'll throw out as a note on the SPAC, and we talk about, good management teams, Mitch brought it up in that watch list there, QuantumScape. QuantumScape was one of the best performing SPACs last year, hitting over $100. So who's the other person on Slam U that stands out? QuantumScape CEO and co-founder Jagdeep Singh is part of this management team. So here you have a guy, who did a successful SPAC deal, now attaching his name to an A-Rod SPAC. That excites me. I've also seen A-Rod on Shark Tank before. He is invested in companies. This guy is no slouch when it comes to getting deals done. He's not just a former athlete. He is now a businessman. So pay attention to that one. And then, of course, we had a couple that got deals done. So we talked FRX yesterday, which I own. That's the Shaq SPAC. Also, 3 former Disney executives. They signed a deal with Beachbody and MyX Fitness that I'm excited about because it's that connected and at-home fitness market, which is growing. They have a Peloton rival. They have a huge network of over 2.6 million customers. So keep an eye out on that one. And then FST, which was a restaurant SPAC.